Hey.
We saw Professor Marston and the Wonder Women.
Oh yeah, it did autocorrect when I was putting out the title. I was having a field day with that. Wait, excuse me, my helicopter's almost here.
It was really good.
Yes, and I really hope there's so many people going into this thinking it's going to be like Finding Neverland. Man, even when I got the tickets for this, first of all, I love that the poster looks like the Wonder Woman movie they just put out. And when this is one of those situations where the ticket guy was asking me about this. He's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's about like the guy who created Wonder Woman." And he goes, "Yeah, I thought that might have something to do with Wonder Woman. It's just really confusing to me that it's rated R." Like, we'll go see it, man. I liked the couple coming out of the movie behind us, and the guy was like, that was good. That was definitely the better choice.
What was the choice between?
Yes, I hope to God it was Home Again. My Little Pony. No, this is a really, really good movie. It's actually a really sweet film, honestly.
This movie is sweeter and more romantic and more sexy than like any of the fucking cookie cutter romantic movies that we've seen, like at least in the last couple years.
Yeah, and it's also better at its subject matter than shit like 50 Shades of Grey and things like that.
Well, this portrayed like it was like a throuple. Like
I was blanking on the term too.
Yeah, like a polyamorous relationship with bondage aspects to their sex life, and like a sex positive and romance positive way.
Yeah.
Whereas 50 Shades of Grey is just gross and toxic.
Yeah.
It was kind of reminding me of Secretary in that it was a little heavy-handed with like the, oh no, we shouldn't, what will Jesus think of us? But it was still, I think, well handled.
Especially because this is taking place in a period.
Yeah, this is like the 1930s when you could like legitimately go to jail.
Yeah, so and you're right, it is this movie about these three people who not only respect each other, but are totally in love and devoted to each other and completely happy. They're raising a family and everything, but you know, it's between the 20s and 40s, like you got to be a little hush-hush about this. Really what it comes down to is there was nothing to do in the 1920s.
There was drink.
There was, smoking.
Go on picnics. And just bang like crazy.
Yeah, if you're not banging like crazy and going on picnics while fully wearing a suit, then you're creating comic books. That's just what you did back then. And a lot of it's structured in a way where it's a juxtapositioning between what's kind of going on linearly in the story between Luke Evans, who's Bill Marston, and his wife, and then their former student. And that's jumping back and forth between him basically having to defend the Wonder Woman comic to Connie Britton, who is like this head of like a parents' council thing, like, you know, so she's not much on the sexuality in Wonder Woman. And it edits it really well, where what he's kind of talking about...
Yeah, like the aspects of Wonder Woman, it's like he's explaining to her why it's not just kinky fuckery.
Yeah.
And it's interspersed with the situations in his relationship and in his personal life and in his professional life that kind of led him to add those aspects to Wonder Woman. And I had known that he had invented the lie detector, but I had no idea that he invented disc theory, which is like an assessment test that they use like now. Although I think the letters stand for something else now rather than, was it dominance, inducement, submission, and compliance. And he's developed this as sort of like a 4 aspects of personality, and he's got it sort of set up where, you know, this is a good one, this is a bad one, this is a good one, this is a bad one, where, you know, you don't want to just be compliant, you want to submit to a higher authority, but not in like a patronizing, like patriarchy sort of way, but in like a submit to a higher authority, even if it's like women.
I love the part where they first tested out this lie detector because they've broken it down, be like, okay, we wrap the thing around you and everything, this is how we'll be able to tell that something is a lie or not. And how they do this scene is, she asks him, it's Luke Evans who's tied up in it, and she asks him, who's the president of the United States, and he says Babe Ruth. But that's a question and an answer that doesn't really mean anything to him. So yeah, that's testing true that he's not lying in terms of what the machine is. Yeah. So then they say, well, we need to ask you something really, really personal, something that's going to raise your blood level, that's going to make you nervous and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, how do you think this is going to end? This is not going to end.
Basically playing Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
Like high fucking stakes Truth or Dare.
I've seen Meet the Parents. I know what's going to happen here.
I haven't, but I've seen the poster for Meet the Parents, so I know what's going to happen here. And so she's like, do you love your wife? And he's like, yes. And he's like, do you also love Olive? And he's like, no. And then he was like,
crap. Do me next. And I do like all the parts in the movie, which actually is maybe only like a few, where Rebecca Hall does straight up say to him, like, is this about science? Or are you really just thinking with your dick in this moment right now?
He never really answers her.
No, because throughout the movie, it's a bit of both. Like,
you know what, you write what you know.
Yeah,
and so he's
exactly.
a psychologist, and it's like sex enthusiast.
Right. The movie's it's Finding Neverland crossed with Kinsey. And it's probably about halfway into the movie that in the story that in the linear story that we're following, that it does get to him creating Wonder Woman and everything, and all of that is really, really fascinating, watching him pitch it in this psychological aspect and being told to tone down the sexuality of it.
He's like, triple it.
And he triples it. They have montages in it where it shows like windows and everything of different panels of classic Wonder Woman, and it's great.
It's like a giant baby lady like yelling at the women for not wearing their full baby costumes, and like all the while he's trying to explain to Connie Britton that it's not perverted, it's to the end of this psychological experiment that he's doing. And she's like, that why is it so erotic? He's like, it has to be erotic in order to make submission seem attractive, because you need to submit.
But how does the spanking come into this?
They didn't really address the spanking. They did address the spanking within the story, which is that he watched Olive spank a sorority girl and super, super liked it.
Yeah, well, how did that make you feel, Professor?
Well aroused, but we're not talking about me.
We're not talking about me here. Again, it's 1928. What else am I gonna do except watch a group of sorority girls spank each other?
In baby costumes.
So I love I just caught one piece. I don't know what conversation is going on in there, but I just caught one going up that says, look, you're just going to have to trust me. Meet the Spartans is more entertaining than Meet the Parents.
I trust you, commenter.
I've seen Meet the Spartans. I don't know about that. No, but the casting is really, really good here. I fucking love Luke Evans. Like,
I love the women too. They did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, they were great.
The wife in particular, like, she was not the most sympathetic character, but they did a good job of making her still like humanized and sympathetic. So, like, you're watching her fuck up, like, oh no, what are you doing? And not like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, she's written as this three-dimensional person, so when she fucks up or maybe says something that she later regrets and then apologizes for it later on, it's not presented in a way that she's the antagonist.
Yeah, no, she didn't have, like, it's not like, she redeemed herself. It's that she grew as a person and learned a lesson. And
even the mistakes that she kind of makes along the way, given the time period. Yeah,
it's understandable, because, again, legitimately could go to jail.
Exactly. It's completely understandable, the choices that this character makes through the movie. Especially, they get found out at one point, their kid is beaten up at school.
Door. Just, if you're gonna have, like, sexy time nurse tie-up games, the door wasn't even closed.
That is kind of on
the neighbor just wandered in like, hey, I brought cookies. Oh no.
Yeah, you gotta lock your door when you're doing that, when you're playing Wonder Woman for realsies. I love that that guy who was running that corset shop.
Oh, the G-String King?
Yes, that's it. The G-String King.
He was amazing.
He teaches them about ropes.
Okay, so this movie starts with based on a true story, and I know like the broad strokes of it. So
Same here.
I have to I was under the impression that the women had broken up with him and were living on their own by the time he died. Maybe that wasn't the case, but I somehow doubt the G-String King was actually someone who like taught them the ropes.
It could have been. Maybe that's First of all, I'm shocked as fuck that character wasn't played by Alan Cumming.
I was thinking he just like swan into their life like Joel fucking Grey. It's like, I see you like high heels. Let me show you the back room.
Well, and then Marston takes all of these pictures home, and
it's got like the little like oldie time like porn cartoon flip books. Like, there's a name for them, but it's escaping me. And just lays them on the bed like, ha! And the ladies are like, but it's porn. Why are you showing us porn? He's like, no, it's psychological porn.
No, honey, it's porn. God, I remember, like, I don't know if they still do, but I remember. This is the late 90s, and Spencer Gifts was selling this adult... That's what this reminded me of in this.
Tijuana Bibles, thank you.
Yeah. Like, it was like adult comic strips. It was like one-panel jokes, like The Far Side or something like that, but it was overtly sexual, and I'm sitting like a teenager laughing my ass off at this. I'm like, Mom, will you get this for me? This is fucking hilarious. She looks at it, and she's like, yeah, sure. And I think the one she turned to was... The husband came home and walked in on her with another man, and the other man was using a golf club on her, and the tagline was, "No, honey, not my good night iron." and then they ran out of sex at one point, so it was turn the page. They ran out of sex jokes, I guess. So one of them was a fly with a chef's hat pouring himself a bowl of cereal, and the box said "shit helper." Like, what? Wow, now I'm really aroused. Thanks, comic strip.
Putting like your Bear Grylls and your ant lynching comics like into such perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's all I did in college, was just doodle stupid jokes. One of them was a bear grilling with a chef's hat for no reason.
Which Bear Grylls was not like an actual person. This was just a bear grilling that Brad liked to draw.
I love drawing the bear grilling. He had a chef's hat and apron. It said like "kiss the cook" and some shit. The just 2 pieces of toast fucking, a jar of jelly sitting on the end table. Look, I did a lot of drugs in college.
If this was a movie, you'd be explaining this to me, and it'd be interspersed with like young Brad, like, ooh,
yeah,
shit helper.
Exactly. Cut to years later, man. My biopic is weird. I didn't do anything in college. I just did drugs, drank, and doodled in class. I failed fucking miserably.
But your doodles are A++.
Yeah, I'm sure I got them in the basement somewhere. If not, I could draw some more. It only took 3 minutes to draw these. They were not good. Dave would do like better versions of them. Like when I had like Frankenstein's monster and the mummy getting married. Sure.
I used to have it wasn't an Etch-a-Sketch, it was like the Magna Doodle.
Oh, yeah.
Brad drew Farmer Fucking a Pig on it.
Yeah.
That stayed on that Magna Doodle for like 3 years because I just could not bring myself to erase it.
I had to erase Farmer Fucking a Pig. The pig was all cross-eyed.
He's all like,
That farmer sucks. Anyway, that's kind of what that reminded me of a little bit.
The Professor Marston and the Wonder Women.
I will create an amazing comic book in the future.
Hire someone else to draw it for you. Get Dave to draw it for you.
I can finally do Super TNT Man. Finally, that was the comic.
What is this?
Oh, Brian and I talked about this, and we were reviewing Captain Underpants. Super TNT Man was a superhero I created when I was in grade school, and he was just a stick of dynamite with a cape and arms and legs, and if there was some bad thing going on in a building, he would just walk in and blow it up. He would blow himself up, but then he would like reform the next day, I guess. So Brian laughs and goes, "So you created terrorist Bomberman?" Yeah, I guess I did, didn't I?
There's a character like that in the Tick comic book, I seem to recall, where it's just like who was a guy who was a bullet, and so he had like a cannon in his backyard. So like, Grant would have to be like, "Honey, load me up," and she's like, "Ah!" And then, tamp, 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 kaboom!
That's Bullet Bill, is what that is. I need to look for those doodles. I'm sure they hold up.
Just draw some more. I'm sure they look the same.
They would. It takes seconds to do. There's a reason Dave is the artist and not me. Now, this is, like I said, it is a sweet movie. It's a really likable film. You are rooting for this love story between these three people. You want them to get together. And it is fascinating watching how this is portrayed alongside him creating and becoming successful with Wonder Woman. So, yeah, I recommend the movie.
Yeah, they did a really good job of, it's like portraying three people coming together and forming a relationship in a way. It's not like focusing on just two of the people.
No,
or even
not at all.
If it is, it seems to be between the two women, but only slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, I think, it's a balancing act that they kind of had to work with, where the Olive like fell in love with the wife first, and then Professor Marston, and then the wife fell in love with Olive after the professor fell in love with her, and they will they won't they, a lot of chasing each other up and down staircases, and you're like, kiss her, you fool.
It does give equal time to all three of these people. It isn't just simply all from his point of view because of the Wonder Woman angle in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's not that at all. This really is an ensemble between the three people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I recommend it. It was a good set.
Absolutely go see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
See it in theaters too, because there wasn't much of a crowd, which kind of bummed me out. But it seemed like everyone who was in there with us, like it spanned a couple different demographics.
Yeah,
and they all seemed to walk out happy.
Yeah. Honestly, the feedback was pretty positive leaving it, which is not what happened at home again. Oh, trailers! Of course, the first trailer we got in front of this
was the Justice League, starring Bro Aquaman.
Man, because of the content of this movie, we got two types of trailers. Whatever indie movie is coming out, and whatever superhero movie is coming out.
Yeah, there's an older couple behind me, and when we got down to, we'll discuss it eventually, but The Shape of Water, the guy turned to his partner and said, well, at least that one looks like something I'd watch.
Well, that guy's not going to go see Justice League. He just watched the prequel.
The Justice League, this wasn't like the Wonder Woman centric one that I've seen previously. This one was more like Batman centric. Yeah,
this is the newest one that they just put out. They put it out about a week ago.
I feel like they're testing out a bunch of different ways of portraying this movie to be like, this maybe? Will you go see this?
Maybe there'll be something in here for you.
Like a Batman and quippy Flash?
Jesus, that is going to make or break that fucking movie.
I don't know which of those options I'm rooting for. Because again, I loved Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, but I hated all the other ones that I've seen recently. So it's hard. It's really hard.
I want it to be good. No, I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel or Batman v Superman, but I didn't want them to be bad. Who wants to go see a bad Superman movie or a bad Batman and Superman movie? No one. With this one, I want it to be really, really good, because for one, it's probably going to be really long. So, fingers crossed.
I always get annoyed with the era when Superman's dead, because, I'm not even a little bit a comic book expert, but I know a lot by proxy, and my understanding of that portion of his storyline is that he gets killed, and then everyone who knows him and knows that he draws his power from the yellow sun is like, let's bury him 3,000 feet under the ground under a layer of stone.
And then the movie The Core happens. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, man. If I die untimely, just set my ass on the porch for 2 days, just in case I draw my power from the yellow sun.
He's barely Superman in these movies anyway.
Just sad Jesus.
You just put him in a shallow grave.
That'll teach him.
Yeah.
We got Lady Bird.
That's
the indie category you were discussing.
Yeah, that looked like it's probably fine, but it also looks like every indie movie about a high school student.
It looks boring.
Right. It looks like I saw Edge of 17 like last year, and that was really good. And this looks like, oh, is we doing this again? All right.
Like, oh no, it sucks to be me because I'm teenaged and different, and no one understands me.
Laurie Metcalf's in it though, and she's probably really good in the film.
She's usually good. Darkest Hour.
Oh, the Churchill movie.
Oh right.
Wasn't that also the title of that? Was that Alien movie with Emile Hirsch?
The Green Lantern?
No.
It's got Darkest Hour in it, I think.
It's something about the aliens like were attracted to light or something like that, and none of us went to go see it because I think it was only out for a week.
Yeah, that doesn't sound even a little bit familiar.
Like they were hiding underneath cars and shit, and it was released in 3D. Someone in there will...
Signs?
No, not Sign. Yeah, Signs. That's what I'm talking about.
See, that guy agrees with me. Green Lantern.
Maybe it was Green Lantern.
Forgettable? Was the name of it Forgettable?
No, that was... Unforgettable was the Katherine Heigl movie. The new one is just not Dark Skies. That was the
Darkest Hours.
Okay, Darkest Hours. Yeah, all right. So it was plural.
Okay, Black Panther, which still looks really good, but I probably won't see in theaters because it's a comic book movie.
Oh, we saw Wonder Woman in this movie.
That's true. So I can still see Black Panther, I suppose.
You were at a few. You were at Suicide Squad. And,
I would not be the right person to take to this movie though, because like I said, I know all my comic book shit by proxy, and I know jack shit about Black Panther.
Well, Irving's a member of the Black Panthers.
I think, aren't his claws are made out of vibranium?
God, I don't know.
Because he could actually like get through Captain America's shield. I'm just talking out of my ass at this point.
I have no idea.
See, yes, a vindication.
They're answering something from like 30 seconds ago.
No, I'm right. I'm super right. You don't know. Oh yeah, Pantherium. Okay, The Shape of Water, which again looks really pretty and really depressing.
Yeah, it does. It looks awesome. The movie's gonna have an amazing sex scene in it. I'm really excited for that. That
it's gonna
looks
be
good.
like in Romeo plus Juliet, where she's gonna be like, "I loved you before you requested," and she's like, "Splash."
Yes, and we'll get that sweet soundtrack playing. Love me, love. Yeah,
that soundtrack is amazing to this day.
Fuck yeah, it is. I love that fucking movie.
I had that shit on cassette tape. And all the money in the world.
That looks super fucking good.
Again, super depressing though.
Yeah, that's like maybe one of my favorite trailers that's playing right now.
It's one of my favorite trailers, mostly though because I love that song.
I love the zombies, yeah.
Yeah, but like in the trailer they stretch it out. So it's like, what's your name? Who's your daddy?
They put like echo effects behind it. I'm cool with that. Like, as opposed to like if they put that usual emo cover shit that they usually do in trailers. Like, this is the zombies version. It's just trailer remixed.
Is he rich like me?
I am just as rich as Kevin Spacey.
You've got more lips, because they delipified him for that movie.
Yeah. No, that looks really fucking good.
Yeah. And again, terrifying. You know, I can't even imagine.
Was that it for trailers?
That's it for trailers.
Well, at least I got tomorrow to chill before Medea Halloween 2. Or Tyler Perry's Boo 2.
A Medea Halloween.
A Medea Halloween.
I insist that every time you say the full title of that movie. We were saying outside the movie beforehand that I really wish that Tyler Perry had at least been nominated for an Oscar for Gone Girl, so it could have been Academy Award nominated Tyler Perry's Boo 2 A Medea Halloween. Sorry, Boo 2 : A Medea Halloween.
He would do that shit. God damn it.
Like, well, I guess now I have to see it.
Man, I had to rewatch the first one like last week.
Oh, so you make sure you don't miss any plot points?
No, I did it for a snob episode. Believe me, it's
Is that the one that had Larry the Cable Guy in?
No, that was the Christmas one.
Okay.
The one that's The Halloween one is the one where the trailer makes it look like zombies are chasing her, but no, it's like frat guys who were fucking with her, and the frat is all made up of YouTube celebrities, and nothing else happens in it. Like, they did this movie so quick that like 80% of it takes place in the den in the house where they're just debating parenting with each other. It's so lame. Like, it would be like if you were watching Hocus Pocus and they just spent 80% of the movie debating, should we spank our kids?
Hocus Pocus was mostly about Sarah Jessica Parker bouncing her boobies around and how terrible it is to be a virgin.
Which is why it's a much better movie than Medea Halloween.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and watch Hocus Pocus right now.
I'm gonna go home and go to bed.
Good night, guys.
See ya. Thanks for watching.